Welcome back to our channel. My name is Derek, this is Mike, and today we're coming to you from the iconic Tivoli Gardens, the second oldest amusement park in the world in Copenhagen, Denmark. And I hope you're hungry because we are taking you all around town to try all the best street food in Copenhagen.
Yeah, there are so many cool places where you can find food halls that have stalls of Danish food and food from honestly all over the world. And there's many places you're going to try, probably more than you can pack into your trip to Copenhagen. But we'll check them all out right now.
Enough talking, let's go eat. Okay, we are at Reffen, which is one of the coolest and I think one of the biggest, at over 6,000 square meters, street food parks in Copenhagen. It's nestled right on Copenhagen's harbor, and it's home to over 50 different food entrepreneurs. So if you're looking for gastronomy as well as innovation and sustainability, this is the place to go in Copenhagen for that type of street food. The dogma of Reffen is to reduce and reuse, and you really see that in the sustainability and the culture that is here in this street food community on the north side of Copenhagen's harbor.
And like Derek said, this is probably our favorite spot to go to, take people to in the good weather. It's open from April till December, but definitely you come here when the weather has to break in April and it's springtime, and all summer long you sit here for those long, beautiful Copenhagen evenings in the summertime. Also, the food is amazing. Today I got myself some Kurdish shish kebab. Derek, what'd you get yourself?
I went with the empanadas, which are super good. I've got one cheese and one beef.
Yeah, and it's just an example of all the awesome food that you can have here. Also, you come here, there's some beer vendors here, wine vendors, so you literally can come here yourself or with some friends and just sit here for hours, see people, all the beautiful smells as you sit out here as well. It's just a fantastic spot.
Yeah, and honestly, you have one of the best views of the city because it's unobstructed, because you have the harbor in front of you, and you can just sit here and enjoy the music and the DJs that they usually have on the evenings and weekends, and other entertainment here. There is skateboarding, there is all kinds of things, or you can just lounge in a chair on the harbor, watch the sunset over the city of Copenhagen, and eat some delicious food.
Yeah, and to get here, so the easiest way to get here is either bike out here, or you can also take public transit with the 2A bus that comes out here as well. So it's a little bit outside the city, maybe a little bit far to walk, but bike or bus, you'll get here no problem.
Yeah, it's about a 20-minute bike ride or 20-minute bus ride from Central Station in Copenhagen, or you could also take the water ferry. So if you want to check out the harbor from actually on the harbor, you could take the ferry across the harbor from various points in Copenhagen. It's actually definitely worth the trip, and I think you'll love it just as much as we do.
How's yours?
It's really good.
Now we're here at the Tivoli Food Hall, which is an extension of the famed Tivoli Gardens amusement park here in the middle of Copenhagen. And it's a food court that opened in late 2017 and has roughly 15 food stalls. It's a mix of some unique different tastes and some outlets from some famed Copenhagen restaurants and other places as well. It's a really nice spot to come to, whether you're in Tivoli Park itself, or even if you're not, you can come here without needing to have a ticket in Tivoli if you just want to check out some of the food stalls that they have here.
Yeah, now if you need an excuse to go to Tivoli, not like anybody would, this is definitely a nice additional reason to stop by. If you do come though, make sure that when you go from Tivoli into Tivoli Food Hall that you're getting a stamp so that you can re-enter the park. And if you're planning to go to the park, you do actually have to go back around to the entrance to buy a ticket. So it can be a little confusing that way, but it's a fantastic place to just go and get some food while you're in town. It's nice that it's indoors, so again, you can enjoy it in all kinds of weather and you can enjoy it all year long. Even when Tivoli is closed, it does remain open, so that's super nice as well.
Yeah, one of the cool things as well, if you're with a group where people have different tastes, or you want something a little bit quicker than some of the more sit-down restaurants that are in Tivoli, this is a good option to come to as well. Also, it's the kind of thing if you're touring around the park and you just need a little bit of a break to sit down, it's probably easier than just sitting at one of the restaurants. You can just come here, grab a table, though it can get pretty packed in the peak season as well.
Yeah, so definitely take the crowd size into account if you try to go there for lunch. Probably other people are going to have that idea as well. However, like Mike said, it is a bit quicker and sometimes a bit less expensive than going to one of the sit-down restaurants that are inside of Tivoli themselves, where you may even need a reservation on the weekends. So Tivoli Food Hall, there are 15 different food stands that you can try and get another taste of Copenhagen street food. So as we explore Copenhagen's vibrant street food scene, we'll be focusing on the coolest places to find street food parks and food halls in the city. But when you visit Copenhagen, that's not all. Keep your eyes peeled for other food trucks and mobile street vendors that you may see as you wander around town, because you never know where you're going to find your next mouth-watering treat in Copenhagen. And if you're lucky, you may even stumble upon some kind of pop-up street food events during your visit. Trust us, there's always something delicious happening in Copenhagen, and all you have to do is ask around and keep your eyes peeled to find it. But you can also find plenty of quick serve street food spots all over the city, like wok restaurants that dish takeaway noodles and shawarma kebab stands, so there's a lot more to offer. And if you're in the trendy Vesterbro neighborhood like I am right now, be sure to check out Kubun. It's one of Copenhagen's old meat packing facilities and home to high-end restaurants, shops, and bars. But you'll also find taco counters, burger joints, and Indian food stands that have all evolved alongside Copenhagen's street food culture. Trust us, they're definitely worth a visit. So if you're a foodie looking to explore Copenhagen's street food scene, be sure to check out our street food guide and our foodie recommendations on Thatch. We've got a link to all of our Thatch guides in the description of this video, where you can download all of our tips and recommendations, whether you're looking for the best food, the best attractions, the best local bars and cocktail spots to hang out in. We've featured a lot of the ones in this video in our Thatch guides, and there's so many more places to see in those guides. So hopefully you'll find them, and bon appetit. Okay, so now we are at Broens Galkøkken, or the Bridge Street Kitchen, which is a lot easier for me to say if you haven't noticed. But this is a great place to go for street food in Copenhagen. It's located right between the Kissing Bridge, or the Inner Harbor Bridge, and Christianshavn, which is a beautiful canal in Copenhagen. And it's just a fantastic location to begin with. And it's really cool. It's always been kind of inspired by its location itself. It's located at the Greenlandic Trade Square, which is a place that in the history of Copenhagen has always been where sailors have returned from voyages to the Faroe Islands and Iceland and Greenland to come here to Copenhagen to trade their goods, and after they return to Denmark, kind of collaborate with others. And that's something that's inspired this location now, because there are chefs from all over the world who come here to start up their kitchens and create a little bit of that spirit, a little bit of that kind of exploratory nature in this location that's always had that rich tradition of exploring and trading and cultivating something special.
Yeah, and what's nice about the location here is it's right in the middle of the city. I mean, literally, you're right across the bridge from Nyhavn, one of the main tourist attractions in the city. It's also a nice place if you want to try some of the famous brands, different food places around the city. You can come here. I mean, this is where you have like Gasoline Grill, which is a famous place for their burgers. There's a burger from Popple, which is a derivative of Noma as well, one of the famous restaurants in Copenhagen. So this is a chance where if you want to kind of sample some of the name brands here around Copenhagen, you can do this, especially if you're in a group and you want to try a few different things and share with each other. That's what we like to do as well. One of the things that we love to get here is what Derek just brought over, which are some tacos from Sanchez, so a nice Mexican place where the chef is actually from Mexico, so it's authentic food here in Denmark, which is fantastic. They have a spot in Kubun in the Vesterbro neighborhood as well, so it's a good place to come and get them if you want to try it, as long as other foods as well.
Yeah, I think that's one way that we've really enjoyed visiting here, is that we can come here with a group that maybe we don't want to book a table for 8 at one of these restaurants because everybody wants something different, or maybe people aren't sure if they want to try some of these certain foods yet when they visit Copenhagen, like Smallville, for example. And rather than book a table and commit to the financial part of going out to dinner, it may be nicer to just come and get a sample of a dish for 120 kroner and see if you like it, and then maybe you can commit to going out to dinner. So that's one reason why I love it. You have a lot of the nice name restaurants that you'll find elsewhere in the city, and you can try it, the kind of street food version of going out to dinner there here.
And one of the nice things too is you can get an experience of another Danish tradition, which is the Loppe Market. It's a flea market on the weekends here. I think on Sundays typically you'll find people come here to sell different clothes and wares and antiques and knickknacks and things like that. Another nice little Danish tradition is people reselling their stuff on the street in what's called a Loppe Market, and you can do that here on Sundays as well.
Yeah, and actually it's really great all year long. I don't think we mentioned it, but it does open for these food vendors in April, and you can enjoy it in the nice weather all summer. But then when the winter comes, things aren't over yet. Some of the restaurants do close up for the winter, but you can always get a hot chocolate and go ice skating, because they put an ice skating rink in this location for the winter months, and you can still enjoy it then all year long. So there's something, no matter when you're visiting, that you can find here.
So probably the most traditional street food you're going to find around Copenhagen, or probably anywhere in Denmark, is going to be the noble hot dog, or the pølse here. You'll find these little wagons known as pølsevogns all over the cities, particularly around busy areas. In Copenhagen, you'll find them by City Hall and major squares and market areas like this as well. And it's where you can go and get yourself, again, a simple little hot dog. You're generally going to get it with the sausage, a little bit of bread, a splash of mustard and ketchup as well. And you may not think of Denmark as a hot dog country, but it is. I mean, this is a place that has 5 times as many pigs as people, so pork is a key part of the Danish culinary tradition. And when you just want a quick eat, when you want a little quick lunch, when you're walking around town, not much better than going to a pølsevogn and getting yourself a nice Danish hot dog. So now we're at the Torvehallerne, which are 2 large food halls that are located near the Northport station in the city center. This is one of our favorite spaces because we actually used to live over near here as well. And this is a great spot to come to. It's been open since 2011. It was designed by Danish architect Hans, and it's a fantastic spot where you find a mix of Danish foods, international foods, markets. There's a great produce section that's out there, flower market that's out there, little pop-up stands that show up. So you can get nice cheese and meats and fish and tapas and smørrebrød, and just, it's a fantastic spot to come to for all kinds of different options that are here. It's an absolute favorite to come to.
Yeah, some of our favorite vendors, we love Grill, which is sort of a gourmet take, an upscale take maybe on oatmeal. And it's really good. You can kind of customize it and get it in all kinds of ways that you like. A lot of our British friends really like the tea shop that is here. There's also some Nordic wine shops and just really cool places that you can find to shop, buy fresh produce, and even places where you can get prepared food that sort of have a Nordic twist on maybe some things that you've tried elsewhere around Europe or in the world, but with kind of a Nordic Danish local twist, and that's really cool. When we come here in the summer, it's also really nice that we can sit outside at the picnic tables here, or if we want to be a little bit more adventurous, we can go across the street to Israel's Platz and eat outside there, kind of in a takeaway fashion, which is really nice. But it's really cool that it's also covered, so in all seasons and in all weather, you can come to Torvehallerne and enjoy some street food without necessarily enjoying the rain or the elements that you might find elsewhere in outdoor street foods or on the street.
Yeah, it's also cool if you come here on the weekends. I think it's on Saturdays. There's flea markets over in Israel's Platz as well if you want to go to some of the traditional Danish local markets here. What's also super nice is the location. So we mentioned it's near Northport station, so you can easily get here whether you're walking to the city center, bus, train, metro, everything seems to come together here at Northport station, so it's an easy spot to come to if you want a quick bite and a chance to walk around different flavors and smells.
Yeah, so definitely check it out, and on to the next. If you're looking for a sustainable adventure, just hop on the green path that's hidden behind the train tracks and let it lead you to Bongarden. It's a magical wonderland created by 4 eco-warriors with a passion for sustainable living. As soon as you step foot onto the premises, you'll feel like you've entered an urban western dream world far away from the hustle and bustle of Copenhagen City. The best part though, it's only a 7-minute bike ride from Central Station. It's a rustic food market set in 9 wooden barns that used to be part of DSB, or the Danish Train Network. The barn sat empty for 50 years before being renovated and restored into the market that we have here today. There's a lot going on here too. At all times, there's a full calendar of workshops and activities that you can just enjoy, and you can also just hang out in the nature reserve that's in the middle of the city of Copenhagen. And I'm doing that right now with a beer and a hummus plate. So skål to good food, cold Danish beer, and sustainable food markets just off the corner of the train tracks. Food is culture, and Copenhagen street food is one part of Denmark's very rich culinary culture. But you're probably not going to stop there. In fact, I bet you're at least going to go out to dinner once while you're in Copenhagen. So if you need to know what to do and what to expect, do you need reservations? Should you tip? What else is going to be different about going out to dinner and dining in Denmark compared to your home country? Check out this video right here for all the answers. We've got you covered. So find out what you can expect while you're going out to dinner in Denmark and how it's been different for Mike and I coming from the United States and now dining out in Denmark. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. Don't forget to give this one a look next. And hi, velbekomme.